Hey everybody, it's Thomas. It's BBLoBB time. This video is going to be a little shorter than my normal group stage videos because there's a whole lot less to talk about when we're down two teams. Things, basically. Let's do a recap of the week first, and I'll make it a little easier so that whole ranking screen was a little bit of a spoiler. Alright, let's talk about it. So Zach and I played 1-1 tie. Really did not expect this. Basically, it's really hard, though, when 3 players get removed in the first 3 or 4 turns. It was not a great week for me. Do the ball around a little bit, thanks to the magic and power of elf bullshit. I did manage to get my touchdown. But yeah, pretty much every kickoff I was down 3 players. Not so good. Zach spent his money on Zara the Slayer, who actually did pretty good. Being 4 strength is really annoying for me to deal with, and on top of that, KO'd one of my players right away, so that was fun. 4 casualties, 1 death. You can see who got killed when we look at my team quickly. But yeah, just not a great week for me. I fell over a lot. I got stunned all the time. My armor just wasn't even there. Yeah, 4 tackles sustained. It was not fun for me. But not too bad, all things considered. 5 passes is pretty good. MVP, touchdown, 13 SPP, so pretty good for me. Zach walking away with 8, 11, 16 SPP, so really good week for him. I did roll 80 and did this in the wrong order, so it kind of works out, actually. I don't know why I did that. So Zach's team. Zach with 50k, which is okay for him. Level up says Yeti. Leveled up before the match and got block, so which is really good. Hooray, Dulls. Other levels up, this runner leveled up and got dodge, which I like a lot. Blodge, sure hands is an excellent combination. This berserker leveled up before and got tackle, which I didn't think of before. I think that's the only progress. Both these werewolves, this werewolf got an injury. I was going to say both of them did, but I think just one of them did. This team is still potentially scary. The Yeti is so much of his team value, though, and so many of his other pieces just aren't that good. And that's definitely a problem he's going to have to deal with. He's pretty much gone full elf killer mode, which the way the groups work out actually isn't that bad for him, but it's not that good either. Again, if you remember what was on the screen, you can see before. In terms of things to buy, not a lot. He bought a thrower here, which I think is fine. I mean, he could buy just another lineman or another thrower. I mean, he's out of positionals after that anyway, so kind of whatever. But I think 13 players is probably the happy place for this team, even though he can easily have a bad game and get removed everywhere. Okay. So yeah, me quick. Gonna miss next game on this Blodge catcher, which is really frustrating, and I miss next game on this kick wrestle piece, which is extremely frustrating. And the thrower is the one who died. I still haven't decided if I will buy a second thrower. I'm thinking about it pretty heavily. Nah, I should just do that. Okay. We'll just do it now. I'm really prepared going into this video, as you can tell. Okay, thrower. Forn. Yeah, Steam Machine 2. Which one is the best one? I think they're all like the same. Alright, their face tattoos changed slightly. Well, we'll go with weird Dio thrower. Yeah, it's just weird. Okay, done. Still 100k left in the bank, so I'll be able to replace a blitzer if I need to. This basically just keeps me, let's see, with 4, 8, yeah, all 11 players next week, which is pretty important. At this point, I don't want to go with the MVP, because SPP is going to be pretty limited. I don't think I had any other level ups this week. Yeah, I got close with Digital Love, but not getting enough touchdowns definitely hampered me. A little bit. Yeah, I mean, my team is not in great shape right now, to say the least. Okay. Other match of the week was between Chris and Jessup, which is very similar in a lot of ways. Jessup 2-0'd Chris. And basically, it can be brought down to Jessup got a ton of removal right away. Like, before Chris's turn 1, he was down to 7 players. He had 8 players to deal with. So Jessup's blocks were basically down, stun, KO, badly hurt. That's not a great thing for Chris. Yeah, 2 casualties sustained, caused 4 casualties sustained. Chris had a bunch of failed tackles, which is unusual. then like pitch invasion, took out a bunch of his guys. It was not a great game for Chris. Just walking with 70k is kind of crazy, but hey, these things happen. Yeah, I mean, Jessup played what I'm affectionately calling Jessup ball, where he's really aggressive and it works out for some reason. Like blocks happening that shouldn't happen. Some it's the tree and all the guard that allows, but I mean, Chris's armor just didn't pay what Chris's armor normally does, which is unfortunate. Fame roll probably helped on that pitch invasion as well. But yeah, stats can you 7 SVP for Chris is I think the lowest he's ever done. Just walking with 15 is just fine. Jessup also got our the bye because this kind of makes doing this video complicated. The teams that are in first place in their group got the bye because everybody gets a bye every week, so you get the bye first. So Jessup walking away with only 1 level up from those 2 weeks though. Level up on the War Dancer, which is good. From what he's saying, he's finally going to get Strip Ball, which is good. I mean, I think it's something he should a long time ago, but apparently it doesn't matter because he's winning his games anyway. MVP went to Cheese, who's at 42 SVP, which is pretty good. This piece might hit level 5, so he doesn't get murdered pretty soon. Other things. I don't think any other changes. He did get Russell on these pieces. I thought he would get Russell on. Yeah, no big changes. Again, this should never have happened. He does have the money to finally afford the positionals he should have, so I would like fire this piece, buy another catcher, at least. You should have more than this one catcher. All these linemen are fine, but they're not that good, and this one has nothing, so I would fire him. I would also fire this diving tackle piece. He's the worst one you have at this point now. Just my thoughts, but again, just wasn't need to listen to my team advice, basically. He is hit the spiraling expenses magic point as well, so that's something to consider, but I think the catchers are well worth the extra money. Especially because diving tackle isn't that good on its own, and who cares? Other side of that, let's look at Chris's team. Not a lot changed here, though. Chris walking with just 10k. Insult to injury, but he has got a ton of money anyway, so it's not the end of the world. Yeah, no level ups from what I can see. Ren with still no SVP. Thumbs up there. Kargath didn't get his injury or touchdown, obviously. So things are happening with this team. It's still in a really good spot. It just, I don't know. Chris's elf luck has not been so good lately. And that's us for the week. Yeah, cool. Let's look at next week. Let's look at group stage, actually. So yeah, first, fourth, and Zach here are group 1, as you can see. Second place is Mark, myself, and Greyduck. So groups are a little weird. It's kind of the best way I could think to divide the 6 that made any sense without being like top 3, bottom 3. I think it just makes more sense to do it this way. So yeah, I mean, these groups are it's a little more cramped too, because there's only going to be 4 games you get to play. So it's kind of like season 3 in a lot of ways, where if you mess up, things are probably not great for you. So the first couple games are pretty impactful, depending on how everybody else does. We'll see. Only 1 game a week for each group, so it should be pretty straightforward, honestly. But hey, we haven't looked at Mark's team, I guess, because he's got 2 buys in a row. Both werewolves leveled up, which is really good. What to get? I don't know. Sidestep probably. Sidestep or dodge. Probably sidestep, given how much tackle there is, especially in his group with Chris and Zach. It's pretty good. Unfortunately, the flesh column still has 0 SPP, which is really sad. Yeah, bunch of I mean, this team is still a big threat. Mark's group is probably the hardest hitting one, I would say, but that's kind of the product of having only one of the elf teams, I guess. And let's see here. We looked at Jessup's team already. Yeah, so we're good there. Let's look at the matches that are actually happening this week, which are Zach versus Chris. Should be interesting to see how this goes. 1450 in team value, so he doesn't buy anybody, which I have no reason to think he will or won't. Chris at 1630, so Chris giving up 180. We'll see what Zach decides to get here, but I favor Chris pretty heavily in these matches. When they played before, yeah, Chris won both 2-0 pretty convincingly. Orcs just hit so much harder than Norse. The Yeti could certainly do a lot of work, especially now that it has block, but Chris's Troll has block as well, so we'll see. And Chris definitely has the huge strength advantage with all the guard he has, so we shall see. on the plus side, all these blitzers with dodge aren't going to do as much because of how much tackle he's packing, but we'll see. I think the advantage is still in Chris's favor pretty heavily. Me versus Grey Duck. We are 1-1, I think, in our previous matchups. Played pretty early. 2-1 me and 2-1 her. So yeah, we are pretty evenly split there. 1490 for me versus 1610 for Greg. I don't think we looked at Greg's team because she had a bye last week. Low on this lineman apparently got guard from what she was saying, which is good. Kick guard is a good combination. Not certainly ideal necessarily because you don't really want to risk your kicker, but nothing in the world. This piece leveled up as well. I think sidestep, again, still the thing to get. Still think she should fire this assassin, replace it with another assassin if she wants, maybe get another lineman. These sources up to her though. If she does get the other lineman, she'll be at, let's see, 1650, well, 1660 with the doubles, plus another 17, so 1730 versus my 1490. So she would be giving up a fair amount of money, 140, which, you know, rerolls do matter. I think she has a lot of advantages going into this game. Certainly she hits harder than I do. And I'm missing, like, key pieces here. All four of these blitzes are pretty good, too. Multiple tackle pieces here is the annoying part. Actually, only the two. I thought she had more. So it's a little frustrating for me, I guess. We'll see. It kind of depends on how good her hitting is, who gets first possession, all that fun stuff. I definitely can move the ball around better, especially with my multiple 5 agility pieces, my throwers, and all that fun stuff. But we'll see. None of us have sure hands, so strip ball will probably be a factor. My piece is a little more mobile, so that helps me. We'll see. Elf on elf ball is always great, at least for me. So we'll see how it goes. Honestly, I don't think a tie will be likely, but tie feels pretty good to say. Knowing my playoff luck, though, I think Grey Duck's going to win. Just, you know, put that out there. I think that's what's going to happen. Yeah, Hall of Fame Perusal. Cheese with 39 SPP. This is weird. This isn't updated because it should be 42. Squat right behind her. Some more pieces still. We're getting really close to a lot of level 4 pieces here, which is cool. Best score is still Cheese, followed by Karkath in the Neighbor of the World, and more elves below that, although more other stuff below that as well. Well, other stuff, Mark's pieces. Best thrower, Dog with 21 passes now, which is pretty cool. Trappist Logic with 12. Yeah, elves, then Chris's player. Which is great. Only no interceptions, which is a little sad. Most violent player Squatch got animals up to 13 injuries. Hooray, everything. Best runner modern deities. Parsec is way ahead of Thrall. Yeah, we'll see how this table shakes up as things go along. Best throwing Dog, throw on the farthest. Not too surprising there. Traps Logic right behind him, and then Thrall with distance as well. Got a fair amount of throws here, but there's a big cutoff point between Thrall and Parsec here. Best killer, we did have another death this week, so we're up to 18 total, but having only one is not enough really to get you on the list anymore. Best receiver, Cheese, 17 passes received at that point. Yeah, cool. Recap my predictions. I think that, well, actually, let's do a couple things here. Let's do just a quick brief discussion of the groups overall, because I don't think we touched on that. So this group is definitely very elfy and very fast, which doesn't necessarily help Greg as much, I would say. These two teams are about equivalently speedy, I would say. And I'm faster than both of them a little bit. I have a split record with both of them, so I'm unsure how this will go. I think Mark won one of their games. Let's look at their history really quick. Grey Duck. Okay. draw game, and a win. So actually Mark is the advantage there. Interesting. Yeah, okay. So see, I favor Mark pretty heavily going into this. And probably Grey Duck because, frankly, my playoff luck is pretty legendarily bad. We'll see, though. I mean, this is a solid team this season, so we'll see what happens. Of course, you can say that about the last elf team where I had 4 games to play. Group 1, we've got Jessup and Chris and Zach. Jessup is a pretty good favorite here. I mean, pretty much winning records against both these teams. That said, Zach is definitely a good foil for this team now, especially because Jessup lacks positionals. Could be interesting to see how this shakes out. But given, Zach's recent performance overshadows how his early performance went, but he does have losing records against both these teams. Certainly playing against Orcs will be very difficult for him. I think Chris Jessup is probably our likely to coming out of this. At which point, assuming we got like 1-2, 1-2, elf on elf, orc versus necro. Tough to say, honestly, because all those matches could go either way. But we'll say Grey Duck beats Jessup, Mark doesn't beat Chris, and then Grey Duck versus Chris. I think that favors Chris? Sure? I don't know. All our matches have been pretty close this season, which is nice. So yeah, we will see what happens. Yeah, it's going to be a weird one. All right, recap my predictions. I think that of the games that actually will be played, I think that Chris will win. I think that Grey Duck will win. Boom, done. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll talk to you later.